Why is your baby crying? Let's find out now. The crying identification method is a way of understanding the baby's needs through the sounds he makes before crying. In addition to these sounds, babies may have other forms of nonverbal communication, such as facial expressions and body gestures, which should also be considered by parents. Yes, each of the cries has a different sound and facial expression. Let's talk about each of them so you can better understand your baby's needs. According to former opera singer Priscilla Dunstan, there are 5 universal sounds that babies make before they learn to speak. These sounds, called sound reflexes, indicate babies' basic needs, such as hunger, sleep, discomfort, gas and burping. The method is focused on the baby's communication in the pre-cry phase, that is, when he is still trying to express himself with sounds. To apply the method, you must pay attention to the sounds your baby makes and try to identify what need he is signaling. Therefore, you must promptly offer what the baby needs before he becomes angry and cries more intensely. It is worth remembering that babies have personalities and can cry for different reasons, such as cold, heat, boredom, pain or excess stimulation. To identify the cause of crying, it is important to pay attention to the signs that the baby gives in addition to crying, such as putting his hand over his mouth, rubbing his eyes, twitching or arching his back. For example, the cry of hunger comes from the sucking movement and makes a sound similar to a "huh." It's automatic to offer the breast or bottle when your baby grumbles, but he's not always hungry. Crying may indicate that he is tired, fussy, hot, uncomfortable, or just bored. To know if the baby is crying from hunger, you need to observe some signs, such as looking for breasts on the chest of the person holding him, moving from side to side, hitting the person's chest or shoulder with their head or showing annoyance. If your baby's cry sounds more like OWH or O, it indicates sleepiness or tiredness. His facial expression may be tired or discouraged. It is accompanied by yawning, trying to rub your eyes, looking heavy, becoming irritable, whining or losing interest in things. Hey! Points out some discomfort, dirty diaper, cold, heat. If the sound emitted is air, together with the frown, it indicates pain and the need for massage for gas. A. It indicates that the baby needs to burp. In addition to making these sounds, babies can also communicate in other nonverbal ways. So, keep an eye out for them. Facial expression. Observe your baby's facial expressions and try to identify what they mean. For example, if he frowns, he may be in pain or discomfort. If he opens his eyes and mouth, he may be surprised or scared. If he smiles, he may be happy or satisfied. You can also make facial expressions for your baby and see how he reacts. This helps your baby learn to recognize and express emotions. For example, you can make an angry, sad, happy, scared face, etc., and see if he imitates or responds to your expression. The interactive smile. Try to smile at your baby whenever he looks at you or makes a sound. This shows that you are paying attention to him and that you enjoy the interaction. Also, compliment his smile and say things like, "What a beautiful smile, you're very happy today. I love seeing you smiling," etc. This will reinforce the interactive smile and increase your baby's self-esteem. Interaction with expressions. Play with your baby's expressions, imitating them or making faces. For example, imitate the beak he makes when he is hungry or sleepy. You might make a disgusted face when he spits out his food. Or make a scared face when he lets out a scream, etc. This entertains your baby and stimulates his imitation and nonverbal communication skills. Attention to gestures and words. You can pay attention to the gestures your baby makes and associate them with the corresponding words. For example, if he extends his arms to you, say, "Do you want to be held?" If he points to an object, say, "Do you want that?" If he claps, say, "You are clapping," etc. This helps your baby to expand his vocabulary and understand the social function of language. Dramatization and theater. Use puppets, dolls, objects, clothes, etc., to create stories and characters that your baby can interact with. For example, you can use a dog puppet to make barking sounds and bite your baby's foot. Or use a doctor doll to examine your baby and tell him he is healthy. Be creative. Invent. This will stimulate your baby's imagination and creativity and develop symbolism. Music and singing. Try singing lullabies, children's songs, rhymes, to calm, entertain or teach your baby. For example, sing a children's song to teach the names of animals or colors. Make a rhyme by naming the parts of your baby's body, while playing with their respective parts: head, hands, feet, knees. This favors the child's auditory, rhythmic and emotional development and develops memory, attention, sensitivity and musical expression. Voice modulation. Use a soft, caring and affectionate voice to talk to your baby, varying the tone, volume and speed depending on the context. For example, you can use a low, slow voice to calm your child. Or use a loud, fast voice to encourage your baby, and also use a deep and serious voice to reprimand him. This conveys different emotions and intentions to your baby and helps him understand the nuances of language and feel safe and loved. Using rattles. You can offer rattles of different colors, shapes, textures and sounds for your baby to play with. For example, give him a round, red rattle that makes a bell sound, a blue, square rattle that makes a rattle sound and another green, triangular rattle that makes a drum sound. This stimulates your baby's sensory and motor development and helps him explore his senses, coordinate his movements and develop his curiosity. These forms of nonverbal communication are important for developing the emotional bond between you and your baby, as well as promoting their cognitive, emotional, social and linguistic development. Now that you know the cause of your baby's crying, let's look at a quick and effective technique to stop crying. In the next video, just click "Long and healthy life for your baby."